What's up, guys? We're back again today with another great video, and we're back again with a cool Ottocast product here, and this is one that I'm actually really excited about. It's actually their Cabin Care car adapter, and as you guys can see right there, it's actually a camera and a CarPlay adapter, which is really cool for us. Obviously, we have our son Blaine that you've seen in some of the videos in the background and stuff. You know, the alternative to this is to have like a separate screen that mounts to your glass, and you got to run the wires back, which this you still have to run a couple wires back, but it's actually through your radio, so you can actually look at your kids in the back through the radio, or if you want a camera in the back to see your dog or whatever, it'll actually be part of the radio screen, which is super nice. So let's go ahead and we'll unbox this product, and I'll show you guys how to install it. Alright guys, so I kind of got it unboxed a little bit, that way it was a little easier for me to show you guys. So let's go over some of the features right here. As you guys can see, really nice packaging, really nice box. One thing that's cool is you can go full screen of the camera, full screen of your Apple CarPlay. You can do split screen, so it'll be camera one side, your Apple CarPlay one side, and then picture in picture. That's where like one's really small, and then you've got the full screen behind it. This is HD resolution. The camera does have 360-degree rotation on its mount. Obviously, you've got the wireless CarPlay here, and then it does do infrared, so it can see at nighttime inside your car, which is really cool. So again, really nice packaging, as you guys can see right here. Everything's within its own section, so you don't have to worry about it getting broke. Here is your manuals. They're sitting on top right when you open it up. And also they have a video as well on how to install it inside your car. So one thing, let's go ahead and I will pull this out. That way you guys can kind of see it. So it's pretty small, which is nice, and it uses the, the ram ball mount is kind of how it mounts up, if you guys are, familiar with that. One thing that's also really cool is here is the adapter that makes it work. But if you guys, some newer cars uses the USB-C type right here. So it comes with the adapter, which is super nice. So that way, if you have this style, you won't have to worry about it because they send you both. That way it'll work in your car. Also, here behind the phone is you've got your mounts right here. So one way this mount actually goes around the bar that's on your seat, and I'll show you guys once we get in there. And then this mount right here actually goes, it straps around the headrest up and down. So one will go this way and one will go up and down this way. And this is the other way to mount. This is actually how our current camera mounts up. And then of course you've got your cords right here that actually run to the camera, I believe is where they go. So let's go ahead and we'll jump inside the car, and I'll show you guys how to start installing it. And then we'll also, connect the phone and everything like that. So today we're actually going to be doing the video on the Highlander, because this is the main car that Blaine rides in, which is our son. All right, so we're in the car, and I'm going to show you guys our current setup. So as you guys can see, we've got the screen mounted to the windshield right here, and the wires run down, and then we get our power right here, so it plugs into the lighter, or the cigarette lighter, the 12 volt. And if you look, we've got this wire right here, and this one actually has to run all the way back. We've got toys on the floor right here, all the way back up, and then we feed it up to here. And if you guys can look right there, that is our current camera. So one thing about this system is you've got to run the cord all the way up to here to make it work and to get the power and everything, because everything's controlled through the screen up here, the monitor. One thing about the Ottocast one is you just plug this in right here, which is where, this is our USB port for the radio. So we'll plug that in right here. That'll give that power. We'll have our screen up here, and then the power of the camera, which is nice, is you just have to run it to a USB cord. So we actually have some USBs on the back side of this, so I'll just run the cable to there, tuck it in nice and neat under the mat so it's not a tripping hazard, and then it'll be a lot nicer setup instead of having all these wires running down right here. So let's go ahead and I'll get the keys to the car. We'll start the car up, and we'll go ahead and get this connected to the phone and get the app set up, and then we'll go ahead and hook up our camera in the back. All right, so we've got the car on. Let's go ahead and let's plug it in right here. Again, make sure you don't plug it in one of your charge ports, that you actually plug it in the USB, because that's the one that communicates with your radio up top right here. So now we'll wait for it, and we should get the Apple CarPlay logo. Yep, there it is. So here is our setup. So it's asking the language, so we'll hit English and then hit next right here, and then you'll hit I agree, and then now you guys can see, so we've got the Apple CarPlay here, or the camera. So if we had the camera hooked up, you would just hit that and it would make the camera full screen. For now, we're going to go to the Apple CarPlay, so I'm going to click right here. So as you guys can see, it's telling us how to do it. So I'm going to go to my phone, go to my settings, and we'll go to Bluetooth. We'll scroll to the bottom, and it should be car CARR-A909. So we're going to click on that, and then we'll see right here what happens. So it's giving me the pair now on my phone. We'll hit pair and then allow. So now it's pairing up. This is the part that may take a second. So there you go. So we're paired up now, and as you guys can see, we've got our map. We've got, let me turn down the radio here. We got the map up here. We've got our Spotify, which is really nice, and then we've got our phone settings, and then back to maps. So as you guys can see, this is how your Apple CarPlay will look. And if you notice, when I click down here, it's actually got the camera icon up top. And we don't have power to our camera yet because we hadn't set it up. So let's go ahead and we'll do that. And once we get this set up, then I can show you how the Apple CarPlay looks with the camera on the screen. So now we're in the back of the car, and as you guys can see, our car seat's right here. And here is our current camera setup. So it actually uses these lines that Velcro, these rubber, or they're kind of like an elastic strap that Velcro around. So again, Ottocast gives you this, which is really cool. It actually attaches to the bar right here, and then also they give you the same style adapter, which is with these two straps right here. And with this, I will say that with this one, just from experience, we have a lot of trouble with this, like wanting to slide and move around as we're driving. So I'm actually going to hook up the bar one, but I'll actually show you guys both ways, just so you guys know whatever way works better for you guys. This one too, you know, if you're a driver or if you have a passenger and your kid's sitting forward facing, this is probably a lot better, because you don't have to have the straps on the seat, which somebody's head would be touching that and constantly moving the camera. So this would definitely be a better option if your kid is facing forward compared to the ones with the straps. This way it doesn't really matter because there's nobody's head going to be there. So for this first mount, what you're going to do is you're going to unclip this right here and it'll open it up. I went ahead and put it on here because I've got to hold the camera. But as you guys can see, depending on the thickness of how your headrest goes in right here will be depending on how tight you can make it. I had to put it on the loosest one. So once you do that, you'll flip that around, and then as you guys can see, it's actually got a nice little rubber gasket in here to kind of keep it tighter. But now you guys can see that that's what it'll look like right there, and it's actually pretty hard to turn, which is nice. So then what you'll do is you'll take your camera just like this, and you'll unscrew this right here on the back. Let me go ahead and do that now. And what you can do is take this part and just put it over the ball, and then you'll pop your camera on just like that, and then you'll just screw that back on, and that's what will tighten it down, just like that. So that's what it'll look like, and then of course you can adjust it from there and then make it super tight, and then the camera shouldn't move from that point. So this is what it looks like, and as you guys can see, there's another, you know, of what our old camera looks like right there with this one. So this mounts a little bit lower, which I kind of like, and I think it's a lot more sturdier, where this one, you know, it's wanting to slide a lot up here. And of course this is an owl, so you know, our son may think that's kind of funny, that owl looking at him or whatever, rather than just this camera up top. So we're back on the workbench really quick to set this up. So I've undone the strap, and as you guys can see, you've got the Velcro on it. So you're going to go through, and actually you're going to go through the other way. So you're going to go through like this, and you're just going to loop it around and Velcro it back. So there's one side, and then you'll obviously leave this loose because this is what's got to go around, and then you'll Velcro that. And then we'll go ahead and grab our other one right here. We'll undo it, and you'll do it on one side or the other side. So you'll go right here like this. You'll slide it through just like that, and then Velcro it. And then now we can take it in the car and wrap this around the headrest and tighten it up. So just like I said, we'll take this and we can wrap it around. Try not to get in your guys' way. So you'll wrap this around, and you'll take it, you'll Velcro it just like this, and you can pull it as tight as you need it to be once you get it where you want it on the headrest. And you'll Velcro it just like that. And then do the same thing with this one. You can run it underneath like this, back up top, unvelcro it, and then do the same thing to it. You'll run it through and tighten it as much as you can, just like that. So, and then there's your other way to mount it. And then of course you'll take your camera the same way. You'll undo it just like this, and you'll pop that on there and then tighten it up just like that. So now that you've got what mount you want figured out and you've got your camera mounted up, now we're going to take our power harness right here for the camera. It connects to the, to the adapter and to your radio completely wireless, but the camera itself has to have power. So you just go to your nearest USB, which it's really nice in our car. Like I was saying, we've got 2 USB ports right down here. Some cars even have some back in the 3rd row, which would be super nice because then you could hook it in and run it back there and not have to worry about the wires. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook them in, run them down the back side of the seat, and then come up right through here. As you guys can see, we've got all these wires right here now from the current camera, but I'm going to run this one up underneath the rubber mat. I know it's a little dark in here right now, but run it under the rubber mat and plug it in, and then we can go ahead and jump back up to the screen and test it out. So we've got our wire ran down right here. I took it down the back side of the seat, and I've got it right through here. I know it's pretty dark in here. Ran it through right there, ran it through down here underneath the mat, and then plugged it in right there. And as you guys can see, we now have camera view. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump up front and show you guys the features. All right guys, so now we are in the front seat, and as you guys can tell, the camera looks really good on our factory radio. If you're sitting back here, you can see in the back really well. One thing about this camera is it's a lot wider angled than our old camera system right up here. With that one up there, if the camera moved any at all, we couldn't see our sun anymore, and this one's super wide. So we can see everything in the back, which is nice. Also with this one, if I tilted it more, over and didn't center my son up, if you had 2 kids in the back, you would be able to see 2 kids in the back. I've also saw people that has their kids facing forward, and if you mount it on this one, you can actually see both kids in the back. So that wider angle camera is really nice. If you have obviously 2 children in the back, you can see both of them with the one camera. So now let me show you guys what it looks like. So we can split it up right here. So you can see right here, you still got your maps and everything on this side, and then you can still see your kids in the back over there, or your single kid in the back. And then also you can still go, obviously, like to your Spotify and stuff like that. Also, if you're having, like let's say you're driving, you're having a hard time wanting to find a song, you can just go over here and it makes it full screen again, or you can see your map full screen again. And then if you just touch the screen, you notice the icon right up here. And if you give it a second, it'll pop back up, and there's your camera again. So that's one thing that's kind of cool, is if you need to go back full screen to your CarPlay, it takes it a second, but then it'll pop back, which is nice, as you guys can see right there. So one thing that's cool is you can jump, full screen between the 2. You can divide them up, which is nice as well. If you're wanting to see my wife, I'm sure she'll drive like this most of the time. So that way she can see him, but then also have her maps and everything up, and then you can still go through your songs and everything like that. So really nice option if you guys have a factory radio like this to put this in, and then you don't have to have this extra screen up here and all these extra wires on your dash. This is all the extra crap that we have just to run that, and there's a lot of extra wires in the back. One thing too is Our Highlander, it's a 2021, so the newer Highlanders actually have a little bit bigger screen. And then obviously like Chevys and other vehicle manufacturers, their screens are actually a lot nicer. I love our Toyotas. The engines are awesome. They hold their value, but their infotainment center is kind of a little bit less than like a Chevy or something like that. So you guys with the huge screens will be able to see your kids in the back really clear. All right guys, so that is pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I do have the links down below to this product and also a discount code for you. A big shout out to Ottocast for letting me do videos for them. This is actually the second video I've done for them. And then they also let me send you guys some discount codes, so that way if you want the product, you'll have the discount as well, make it a little bit cheaper for you guys. But anyway, all in all, I would say I would give this product a 10 out of 10. I think it's really cool how you can just have that integrated into your factory headset, or head unit, I mean. That's really cool because, you know, most cameras in the cars you have to do, you know, you have to have that separate screen and all that. Also, you know, you've got the mirrors and stuff like that. I have a mirror in my Corolla and I really don't like it after driving my wife's car with that camera in there. It's a lot nicer just to see that, and you can see them a lot better than looking through that mirror, because you're looking through your mirror, you're trying to look through that mirror to see them, and your eyes are off the road, where if it's just right in front of you, it's a lot safer for you and the kid inside the car, and you can see your kid a lot better to see if they're, you know, choking or something weird like that's going on in the back seat. So I would definitely say get this product. It's really nice, super easy to set up. As you guys saw, it took me like maybe 15 minutes to do that, and that's, you know, long because I had to film this for you guys. So again, a great product. My phone connected super quick. As you guys saw, we walked through all that. So anyway guys, that's pretty much it for today's video. I appreciate you checking it out. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel so we can keep making videos for you all, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out, and remember, build your masterpiece.
Hey, I got something to say. I'm just so sick of hearing everyone complain. I know it's tough and I know there's pain, but hitting bottom is the only way